I know this. It's the Rifleman.
It is.
It's Lucas McCain blasting away at somebody down Main Street. What was his town? I can't remember the town where he was.
Oh, gosh.
We start with the trivia. Well, let's start by telling you who we are. I'm Steve Tarter. This is Tarter Source at the Peoria Journal-Star. This is Craig Moore, owner of Younger Than Yesterday record store. And yeah, we're going to do records and westerns.
Yeah, I've got a few for you.
All right.
I've got a few things I think you'll find interesting, shall we say. And here, let me see if you can, hold on a second. Where are we going? We have the most sophisticated setup here, ladies and gentlemen. So, Steve.
Oh, boy. Now we're going to have to guess here.
Yeah. Shootout number one.
This is a TV show, right?
It is.
A TV show. And, of course, there were so many good ones way back when. You young listeners or viewers wouldn't know about this, but there were westerns all over TV in the 50s and early 60s.
Oh, yeah. I used to draw against Matt Dillon every week.
I had a Fan of 50.
Yep.
Caps and all the rest.
With the shooting shell? Did you have the shooting shell?
Go like that. In downtown Boston, I had my Fan of 50, the Old West. I'm not getting this one, Craig. So you're going to have to tell me.
Well, it wasn't a hit record, so, we didn't hear it unless you watched the show. This is the original Wild Wild West.
Oh, sure. I should have known that with Robert Conrad.
Yeah.
And Artemus Gordon, whoever played Ross, somebody or other. Ross Martin.
Ross Martin.
Played Artemus.
Exactly.
I was a big Hawaiian Eye fan.
Yeah.
Which was an earlier show, which he was on. Conrad was on.
That's right, yeah.
And
he was a heartthrob.
Oh, yeah.
He made records, too. They tried to turn him into a teen idol, but he couldn't really sing.
Well, you got that little problem. You got to learn to sing, before you
really need to be able to sing. I'm sorry, Robert.
Well, we should tell people that I invited Craig over because, A, it's been too long since we had him on the show. Because there's so many aspects of old records, and I say old records. They don't have to be old; they could be new. Because we know the vinyl. Do you call it the vinyl revolution or the vinyl return, or what do you call it?
Well, resurgence.
Resurgence.
Maybe?
There's a good word.
Yeah,
see?
Yeah, but it's got mostly it has to do with a younger generation. Mm-hmm. It's not geezers like you and me.
Well, hey, that's good.
We've always been into it.
I mean, I was telling Craig earlier that. I'm looking for records again, having had a 40-year hiatus, where I didn't really buy any, but then now we need to. Is there going to be a problem? Are there enough old records going around for people who want to find them, or is that market tightening up? Because you've been into this a while. I mean, we should mention that you've done this. Is Johnny Come Lately to the vinyl scene.
That's one thing I've never been called, Johnny Come Lately. I think I've been called everything else in the book, but not that. That's a good one.
Well, we try to throw things at you.
Yeah, that's I mean, really, I was serious when I say it's the vinyl resurgence, which I sort of tended to not see as happening because I just didn't.
You never left it.
I never left it, and I didn't really believe it because the distributors that I deal with and most of the modern record store chains, the national chains and stuff, they just ignored vinyl completely, and I got in the habit of expecting the distributors, when I asked them what's available, to tell me, well, not much, or nothing, and then, 11 years ago, Record Store Day came into being, and the first year of Record Store Day, they were thrilled to death to actually get the labels to commit 4 exclusive releases that would come out on that day on vinyl.
Now what are they?
4 of them. Well, now it's more like 400 to 1,000.
Wow.
Yes.
11 years later.
11 years later. It's been like that now the last couple of years, where it's just ridiculous. It's overwhelming. But now also, because Record Store Day is an entity, it's like a corporate entity now. They're
when is it?
That's generally the third week of April.
Okay.
Every year. But they approve of officially sanctioned Record Store Day releases. It's getting to be a little pin-headed, as it gets bigger and bigger. But now all the indie labels and even major labels and bands and artists independent of Record Store Day use Record Store Day as a release date.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Yeah. So, even though there is a certain, and I'll use this word for my friend Mike Nellis out there, because a certain panache associated with having a Record Store Day sticker.
Oh, yeah.
Or the official, make it official, So there is that going, and people tend to gravitate towards those because those are more or less required to have an exclusivity connected to them. If Record Store Day makes it an official thing, there's an exclusivity.
Have you seen your business? Is it level? Has it come up? Or you mentioned the word resurgence. Are you seeing that in Peoria at your store?
Well, I see more young people.
Coming through the door, and since, I'd say, well, there just are more young people than there are geezers roaming around digging for records nowadays. Well, and I would why don't you analyze what my thought is here? For those of us that grew up with the records, the 33 and a third records, late 60s, early 70s, whatever period that is, where they were album rock and all this other stuff, albums were the thing. If you're a younger person, you didn't go through that. You didn't see albums coming out released.
No.
All this. You didn't get the packages that we got, that we took for granted.
That's what the appeal is they've sort of, not everybody, but a significant proportion of a younger generation, and that can be from the 20s, maybe even early 30s, down to school kids, high school kids.
Sure.
They've sort of, if they're into music, they're sort of not all that impressed with downloading 10,000 songs on their phone. It doesn't really mean anything to them. Yeah. They do not buy CDs. They don't. It's just, that doesn't mean anything. A 16-year-old person downloading something on their phone, okay. And then maybe they listen to them, maybe they don't, when they got thousands of them on a phone.
Right.
But CDs mean nothing to them because they've been not taught the idea, the concept of an album.
Right.
It's this song. It's the new song, and which the music industry laughingly refers to as the single. But the kids don't even know what a single is, other than that's the term being applied to the new Foo Fighters song. It's not a single. They're not going out and buying a 45, and there's no Billboard Hot 100 of actual hard copy 45 RPM singles, or even CD singles. You remember the cassette single? That was a brilliant idea, wasn't it?
I missed that one.
But let's play another.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We're just kind of dancing through the Old West today. So
yeah,
we're letting Craig lead the way here.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. But anyway, by the way, it's a real treat and a pleasure for me to be here with you. We always have a good time.
Oh yeah. No, we need to do this more often.
Okay. So here's another one. See if you can. And there's a lot of trivia connected with this one.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. This is one of Steve's favorite things here on this one. And yes, it's a Western.
The grandeur is overwhelming here. Well, I'm going to guess, is it Ferranti and Teicher?
But yes, yeah. There would be 3 sections of the trivia connected with this, and that is a very good call there, buddy.
All right. Well, that's the big piano sound. That gave me that clue.
Yeah.
But the Western. Well, it had to be a monumental Western to bring up this kind of score.
Somebody came in the store the other day and bought a Ferrante and Teicher's greatest hits, a double album anthology type on vinyl, and made my day.
Boy, I'm gonna have to really kind of.
I'll give you the.
You gonna give me a clue?
I'll give you a clue. The star of the movie may make you an offer you can't refuse.
So, Marlon Brando.
Okay.
And
that was a softball.
It's a Marlon Brando Western? Is that what we're talking about?
Yep.
Oh boy. He was in one.
And it's the only movie he ever directed as well.
Wow, I should know this. Now you're gonna really showcase the fact I don't know much here, which most of the people watching this already understand. You're gonna have to give me the title. What is it?
The One-Eyed Jacks.
Oh yeah, it's deep in the back of my head. I can remember that.
Of course it is.
One-Eyed Jacks.
But it's not like something...
Never seen the movie. Have you seen it?
Maybe
on TV.
50 years ago I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was an usher at the Iowa Theater in Keokuk, and in this time period, and I saw all those movies 10 times.
Yeah, and you go in with 30 minutes left to go in the show or something like or in and out.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good trivia.
And it really sounds like Ferrante and Teicher too, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Exodus, The Apartment.
Yeah.
All of that stuff.
The Dueling Pianos. Wow.
Yeah, and that's pretty obscure. That was almost cruel. And
no, that's all right because there's folks out there that are going, "How come we didn't get that? That was One-Eyed Jacks. That was obvious." And I'm going, "Yeah, well, that's why I'm not on Jeopardy these weeks."
Yeah, well. Let's see here.
But no, the reason I kind of went to the Western theme, and we could pick 100 themes with you because you cross the line with all of the stuff that you have at your store and that you've experienced. I've came across. I'm not a big one on this binge watching that people do now with cable and HBO.
My wife and I suffer from that.
Have you experienced the show Longmire? It's a Western?
No,
Okay, I kind of came across that on Netflix by accident. Longmire, I think it was 2012 to 4 or 5 seasons, starting around there. So it's fairly recent, but it's set in the modern day, and it's out in Wyoming. A sheriff, an older sheriff, by the name of Robert Taylor. No connection.
Oh, it's
a different Robert Taylor.
Different Robert Taylor.
But it's a well done show. But I was thinking, hey, where's the music for this? So they may have it, but I didn't catch it. Whereas all the westerns of the 50s and 60s on TV, and movies, of course, too, they had a theme. I mean, I'm just thinking when you were playing the Wild Wild West, that was probably a big job for people. The studio's probably finding people to do Western themes because you had to have it distinct. You had to have it, kind of branded, no pun intended, for that show.
Do you remember the series called Johnny Ringo?
Vaguely.
I think everybody vaguely. It wasn't on.
Well, Ringo turns up all over the place. Yeah. The show Johnny Ringo, I'm not sure.
Yeah. The Marx, I collect Marx play sets, like the Alamo and Ben-Hur and all that kind of stuff. And, Dodge City and Gunsmoke. And there's a Johnny Ringo play set.
Ooh.
Which is...
From the 50s or 60s? Oh, wow.
It's as obscure as the TV show. In fact, I knew about the play set before I knew about the TV show, and I grew up then,
Oh, my goodness.
Johnny Ringo.
Who played Johnny Ringo?
Don not Drysdale. Oh, God, I can't remember his last name. Don something.
We have this thing called the internet that'll give us those very important facts in a matter of seconds. So
yeah.
People out there know already. Johnny Ringo, look him up.
Yeah, look him up. Well, I got another one for you.
Okay.
But I think we should probably warn any soft-hearted male and definitely all of the girls that might be listening to, have a box of Kleenex in close proximity.
Okay. This is going to be a real tearjerker?
Yep. And you may have to console me even when it's over with.
Okay.
It's just one of those things. It's embedded so deep.
Okay. Well, we gotta try to experience this
and see if you remember this record and can identify the artist. Okay, and this is part of your Western theme, and we are getting into winter time in the Midwest here. So let me see if I can get this going here.
There's a blizzard coming on. How I'm wishing I was home. For my pony's lane.
I can tell you right now, I'm going to have to, I'm grappling with the name. This guy's from Canada.
Listen to that north side.
And he did the song.
We'll die.
He wrote the song, I think performed it before Johnny Cash did it. But I've Been Everywhere. And I know this guy.
No, you're thinking of Hank Snow.
It's not Hank Snow. Okay, it's not Hank Snow. Well, let's write that one off.
You can bet we're on her mind, for it's nearly supper time, and I'll bet there's hot biscuits in the pan.
You know what the beauty of this show is? We're playing songs that probably have not been out there in quite a while.
And there's a numbness.
And people are going, we know why.
This was a huge hit.
From the 50s? Or
60s, 61.
Okay.
It's only 5 more miles to Marianne.
It's only 5 more miles to Marianne.
Yeah.
Was that the title?
Nope.
Mighty like a woman screams.
The guy and his horse are trying to make it home, you see.
That snow is blowing in their face.
They're caught in a blizzard.
It's rough.
Just think about that barn.
Think about that barn.
That hay so soft.
As he goes off in the wrong direction.
Hay so soft and warm. It's only 3 more miles.
Tell that to the horse.
Well, just watch what you say there.
I know this is...
Let's bear with a little sensitivity.
Man, get up, you ornery cuss.
Uh-oh.
Or you'll be the death of us.
Literally.
I'm so weary, but I'll help you if I can.
Did this guy have other hits?
All right, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Perhaps it's best.
Perhaps it's best.
Stop a while and rest. For it's still 100 yards to Marianne.
100 yards? Come on.
yards.
You guys could finish this.
It's still
And the punchline, get ready, get the Kleenex.
I'm getting the stick out to get that horse to this other 100 yards.
And they found him there at dawn. He'd have made it, but he just couldn't leave old Dan.
Oh.
Yes, they found him there on the plains. His hands froze to rains. He was
It's just 100 yards from Marianne.
And Marianne, you were doing what while you watched this?
Was she looking out the window or something?
It's only 100 yards. There was a lot of snow, I guess.
But you have to remember, too, this is the country and Western side of pop music.
Right.
Late 50s, early 60s. And, the teen angel, and Tell Laura I Love Her.
You're giving me clues here.
Yeah, but all these songs about, death, Patches,
right?
Lori.
Well, Dead Man's Curve. I mean, there's a dead one. I don't know that artist. Who is that?
Jim Reeves.
Oh yeah, Jim Reeves.
Yeah, he'll have to go.
And you know, the other thing I'm thinking that people of our age know, when you had the AM radio, the top 40 of that 50s, 60s period, you had country, rock, pop, standards, whatever, all merged together on the top 40. I mean, I know they had their own little thing, but you know, as you said, that was a hit, but it wasn't just a country hit.
No,
that was a pop hit.
Yeah, well, I didn't listen to when I was maybe 12 or 13 or something when that record came out, and I heard it every day on the radio, and I wasn't listening to country radio.
Right.
Country radio in those days.
Steel guitar.
It was hillbilly. It was both kinds of music, hill and billy.
Okay.
And 90% of the songs were just, weepier than that. I still remember staying at my cousin's house down in the Missouri Bottoms.
Oh, yeah.
When we were kids, and that family was really, they were the Grand Ole Opry spoke to them, in their daily life.
Right.
And not there's anything wrong with that, because I like that stuff now.
Right.
But when I was a kid, I just couldn't take the misery. And I remember,
much sadness.
Yeah, too much sadness.
Yeah.
Me and my two cousins, Gordy and Leland, they put us, to bed, and I was going to stay overnight, and they turned on the radio in the room with the boys, and it was all, country, and everything was so sad, and I couldn't take it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I made them take me home. I got them up, woke them up, get me the hell out of here.
Enough sadness. Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible, but, then this came along on the radio, and the Teen Angel and all the car wreck songs, and the Ghosts, like Patches and Lori. And those
Honey came along later. Honey, Bobby Goldsboro.
Yeah, it continued into the British invasion even. Let me see.
There's always a good market for sadness, I guess you could say. Well, soap operas. You deal in sadness.
Sure.
And we deal with sadness in our daily lives, so we have to.
Soap operas are, my goodness, some of the biggest stuff ever.
While you're looking for the next one. I thought we'd do a consumer favor here. How do you clean a record? If somebody has a record that's dirty, you get out a Brillo pad and scrub it down, or what?
Yeah, Brillo pad. Those work really well.
Okay,
that's why your records aren't worth having.
I knew there was something wrong.
There's all kinds of lines of thought on that. You can buy like a nitty-gritty or a VPI, professional machinery.
Right.
They're all like a cleaning fluid and vacuum related equipment. Or nowadays, there's the new thing is a certain type of wood glue, and you smear the wood glue over the entire surface of an album.
Really?
You just don't glue the label, of course.
Right.
But the entire playing surface of an album, and then let it dry. And when it's completely dry and solid piece, you peel it off.
Oh.
And have you
done that?
I have not. But I've got friends of mine who are known to be basically anal retentive about their record collection, who are swearing by this. And when some of those people start telling me about it, it's like, well, it must have some validity.
Wow, I never would. I was expecting you to tell me good old wet rag and wipe it down and go with the grooves or something like that.
I do that. I don't do it so much with albums, because if an album is that dirty, I don't really want it.
It's dead? It's dead to you?
It's dead to me.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All that sadness, it's welled up inside of you now.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I won't be...
You can't clean it?
Yes, well, sure you can. Yeah, I mean, you can literally, I tell people that you can clean a record like washing a dish.
Oh.
You take a little bit of Dawn and smear it around on the surface, just a little bit, and then with,
damp cloth or something?
Well, you use like lukewarm water and get it good and wet, and then a sponge or a soft cloth, not polyester, because polyester scratches things.
Okay.
But like terry cloth or something like that. And just wash it like a dish and then rinse it all off real good. And if you don't want to get the labels wet, but if you do, then after you've cleaned it, don't wipe the labels. Don't touch
They'll
them.
come off.
You just don't touch the labels. If they get wet, okay, but don't touch them.
Do you have a sign in your store that says that? Don't touch the labels.
Don't touch the label. Yeah. Don't touch the owner either. But then you just lay it down on a towel or something and just leave it there until the label is completely dry. Yeah. And you can get a lot of but you can't wash out a scratch.
No.
There's nothing you can do. You can't glue it out. You can't nitty-gritty it
You're
out.
stuck with it.
You're stuck with scratches or scratches.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mean to waylay you there. So
No, it's okay.
Are you ready now?
Well, are you?
I'm 0 for whatever the score is here. I'm just batting 1,000 here or 0.
Yes, and now you brought something over there too. So
Yeah, I have my perennial, but
we have to get into that.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going back to westerns.
Okay.
A western theme.
You got an easy one? I don't want to appear totally incompetent on this thing.
But that's my job. Let me see here.
I thought that was my wife's job.
Oh.
To make me incompetent.
Yeah. Well, there is that, but that's not new, is it?
No.
I think you'll know this.
Yeah.
This sort of combines.
Yeah, I like this one.
Some genres.
Now we're talking here. Yeah. This guy had a lot of hits.
Oh, yeah.
Booker T and the MGs.
Yep, and Booker T has a new album himself.
A new album.
Yep.
He's still around.
Well, there's something that just came out. I don't know if it's.
It could have been recorded a while back.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be Hang 'em High, right?
It is.
And this is what I miss with the old radio, whatever, the instrumentals.
Yeah.
Because I know there's always going to be pop songs, but these kind of things, these interludes are. Whether you saw the movie, you like the movie, it has nothing to do with the movie. It's a song,
Yeah.
And it's a good one.
Instrumentals were always my favorite genre.
Well, you had a band. Have a band.
Yeah.
What was that? What period was that? Speechless. That's it. I know you played the Apollo, among other places.
Yep, and we did a show with the Buckinghams over at 5 Points once.
Really?
And, yeah.
Cool.
I think we did a couple of shows at the Apollo.
Did you do this one?
Yep, we did. Yeah, that was Tim Breckner. You know Tim?
No.
He plays bass with Matthew Curry. But he played guitar in Speechless.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was all multi-instrumentalist, talented people and me.
No. We know better. We know better.
Mike Nellis played keyboards and guitar and even played trumpet a little bit.
I've for no apparent reason, which is the way I do most things, I've thought of compiling 100 top instrumentals. In fact, I think I've done top 20, top whatever, and it's totally subjective, of course.
Sure.
But I might ask you at some point to shoot me some of your thoughts on that, because
we should do like a 3-hour special.
Oh, Matt's getting excited to hear that. A 3-hour special, Matt? Oh, yeah. Yeah. He just left the room, folks.
Well, that's all right, Matt. We'll let you go. We can take it from there. This is just so cool.
Oh, yeah, the ending was great. Well, the Green Onions was his big one, right? I mean, as far as sales go.
Well, that was the one that introduced Booker T and the MGs to the whole world as a group.
Yeah.
But they were already, you know, the house band at Stax.
I was going to say the studio band or whatever they are. Yeah.
They're on combination of Booker T and the MGs and the Marquis were the entire session band for Stax in the early days.
So they're on many albums without necessarily getting all the credit.
Oh yeah, they're on Otis Redding records, and you know Rufus Thomas and Sam and Dave, and the guitar player Steve Cropper, you know, even wrote a lot of that stuff, like "Hold On, I'm Coming" and "Soul Man" and that stuff.
Great.
So this, I have a little surprise, and you sort of set it up.
Oh, good.
For me. Inadvertently, you set it up. I'm not quite sure even where to go on it, but
for you folks tuning in here, we've got Craig Moore from Younger Than Yesterday. What's your address on University?
2615 North University.
In Peoria.
Yeah.
And record store that, how long has it been there? You've been there, because you've had other locations, but this is what?
Yeah, well, technically, based on Peoria Record Company, in December it begins 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah, or I guess it hits 35 years now. Well, let's see.
You wouldn't have a record in there that's been there the whole time, would you?
God, I hope not.
I was going to say that. I want to find that record. Craig's been trying to get rid of it for 35 years.
One of my records, probably been there the whole time.
Somebody goes in, I'd like to see a certain one, and you go out in the back and bring out this dusty old album. And I don't know if anyone wants this album, but here it is.
I'm not sure which song is going to play here.
Well, that's half the battle here.
Yeah. But I think this fits our modus operandi here. So
see, everyone is surprised in this show, even the person putting the record in.
Even
everybody.
Yeah.
It's just you don't know what's going to happen.
Well, you know, Matt's producing. He's the one that's calling up the song. So
he's going, well, if that's the case.
Sort of goes along with Hang 'em High there.
Yeah. Spaghetti Western.
And who is this?
Playing?
Yeah.
That's the tricky one, because Good, Bad, and the Ugly, right?
Right.
Yeah. I did love those movies, all three of them. Is this a known group?
Depends on who you ask.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. We asked a guy who's had a record store for 35 years, is it a known group? And he goes, well, that gives me pause right there.
This is Speechless.
Your album?
Well, it's our band, yeah.
Okay. See? It is a known album. Well, that leaves me speechless right there, but not for long. That's very good. And you're in there playing bass?
Yeah. It's Tim and Mike that I just mentioned, and Tom Stoner on trumpet.
Where did you have your record made?
We recorded these songs over at Rich Teagarden's studio in Eureka.
Did you ever know about the South Pekin studio?
Golden Voice?
Golden Voice, yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Was that a very good studio?
Yeah, yeah.
I always heard about it. I was only there once.
It's the real deal.
Yeah.
That's Matt Warren playing drums.
What do you know about, this reminds me, the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers? Some of those guys did a surf song, did a surf album, a Blue Wave or something like that.
I don't know that one.
Okay. That's what I heard.
You got me.
I've read this online. They did a version of Goldfinger, instrumental version, which you've probably done. You've done Goldfinger? That's a good instrumental.
We did it. Speechless did it.
Yeah.
In fact, if you would like to hear another one,
of course we would. This is your day here at the Tarter Source Studios here, Craig.
Well, I get Speechless notoriety any opportunity I have.
Sure you do.
That band got together every Monday night for a year before we played a gig.
Here. Nice segue.
You gonna do your Tom Jones impersonation?
Better not. You know what? Bond song, I've gotten more. I mean, I always knew about it, but I like it more. From Russia with Love.
Oh yeah.
I think it was overlooked.
Matt Monroe.
Yeah, Matt Monroe. Yep. And I've heard instrumental versions of that. I think
sure.
Count Basie has one.
I'm sure a lot of probably, yeah.
And this is Goldfinger, or what is this?
Thunderball.
Thunderball, yeah. I knew I was in Goldfinger. I was just trying to think if it was a secondary thing. Okay, well, you've taken us off our Western theme.
I know.
The people out there are going, oh, this isn't a Western. Well, hey, it's instrumental.
Western Bahamas. I'll get back on it.
All right.
What do you...
I like this one. And the question will be, who's doing it? Yeah. Well, it's all right. This is all, this is what we do here, folks. We give you the backstage feeling while we do the thing ahead.
Well, I didn't get a backstage pass, though.
You don't need one here, yeah. We're totally free form. Thunderball. There it is. By Speechless.
Yeah.
That kind of ended the Bond era for me. When Thunderball came out.
I think so, yeah.
It was like 4 movies. Yeah, that's enough. And now, of course, they've made about 16 since, so what do I know?
Well, that original run, those first, 4, hard to beat.
Well, you had Connery, and you had the novelty was there, and everyone was still getting into the special effects. Yeah, maybe at that time. I wonder what they were rated then. Maybe now, of course, it's like kid stuff. Oh, okay.
Which one? Rated R? Really?
That might have been. That might have been a. Yeah. Because
what was the name of the girl?
Oh, let's see. Oh boy.
We know who she was in Goldfinger, and they got away with that.
They got away with a lot of those movies. Of course, Fleming is the one who put it in his books, and they just took it right out of there.
Sure. Okay, so Hang 'em High and the Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and I sort of I threw you a curve with the Thunderball, but
that was good.
It's just getting speechless a little.
All right. Well, now it's my turn. You got mine thing on there.
I do. You ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna let's hear it, and let's see if people first of all recognize this one. This was one of the lesser known of the big TV shows.
Okay.
Well, and this was influenced, I think, by Bonanza.
Bonanza, yeah.
Bonanza influenced this show.
Oh, yeah, it was sort of the answer.
Big spread, rich guys.
Some of our CDs are much louder than other ones. As we're sitting here doing our own production.
Every one of these comes from a different source, no doubt. So.
Speechless was in the room.
Yeah. So do you know who created this one?
No. I know that I can see the guy who was the star.
James Drury, Lee J. Cobb. This is, of course, the Virginian theme. But the guy, and I'm forgetting now the name of the guy who did it. I know he's from Canada. He did a lot of instrumentals. I have a couple of his records, and I'm not getting his name right now.
It's not Al Caiola.
No.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah, it's a good one, and I'll come up with his name later. But for that's just for the listeners, the watchers, the viewers, whatever. And I didn't have it on my CD either.
We better have another one.
I think you would like this one because number 16.
16.
Let's do 16 because this one really played well in the movie itself. I mean, in other words,
the song did.
Song did.
Yeah.
And it's been done. Well, let's people hear it first.
Some of the greatest themes were better as the cover versions that came out on the radio later, like Exodus, Friday and Teicher and stuff. If you go back and listen to the original soundtrack, it's like, well, it's sort of there.
Yeah, but it's buried or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Surprise. Here we go.
One of the best movies, Western or not, I think, this one.
Do not forsake me, oh my darling.
Is this High Noon?
Mm-hmm. But this is... Who is it singing?
Well, I know who it isn't. It's not the guy who had the hit with it.
No, it's not Frankie Lane.
No.
I'll give you a clue. His son played on a very popular TV show in Peoria. Not in Peoria. And on CBS or something. What did Peoria come out?
Peoria. Yeah.
Why did Peoria just come out of my mouth? I don't understand that. It was... The number 3 was in the title of the TV show.
Oh,
and it's kind of a dumb show. I mean, I didn't like this.
In the 60s and 50s, a dumb show?
70s, and maybe even early 80s.
Okay, well, you stumped me.
Three's Company.
Oh, my God. It's Tex Ritter.
Tex Ritter, John's dad.
John's dad, yeah.
John, who died too young.
I should have recognized that voice.
But I love the way he does the song, and of course, it is in the movie. And it just fits.
By him?
Yeah.
Is he in the movie?
I don't think he's in it. Not that I'm aware of.
He's just on the soundtrack.
The song,
And Frankie Lane sort of beefed that up.
Oh, yeah. And I love Frankie Lane's version.
Oh, yeah.
They're both good. I mean, it's a case where multiple versions.
We should have played, what's the Mel...
Although you're grieving, I can't believe
I'm having a brain cramp.
now that I need you by my side.
One of the funniest Western in history.
Oh, Blazing Saddles?
Blazing Saddles. Mm-hmm. Frankie Lane did the song.
Okay.
But he was livid after he recorded the song and then saw the movie.
Oh, boy.
Because they wanted him to do the theme, but they were not sure about him. So they got him to do the song. He did the song, legit.
All right.
And then he saw the movie.
And didn't like it.
And flipped out.
Well, he was kind of religious, or
he was a very straight-laced
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Mel Brooks probably laughing all the way to
he didn't get the joke.
So they had to take it out, or they they left it?
Oh, yeah.
What's
and it's one of the greatest. It's too bad we don't have that to play.
What's the story? You reminded me of another one, Gene Pitney.
Oh, yeah, Town Without Pity.
Well, but what was the story that he had? He recorded a song that was a hit, but he got it too late to be included in the movie. It was a Western.
Liberty Valance.
Liberty Valance.
The man who shot Liberty Valance.
And everyone would think, oh, this song's in the movie. It's not.
It's not. And neither is Town Without Pity.
Okay.
So he had two.
What was Gene always late or something? I don't know what the story was on that.
I don't know, but Liberty Valance, it was such a big hit. I think it probably helped boost the movie, even though it wasn't in it.
Right.
But that would have been a nice feather in his cap if that would have been on the soundtrack of
Well, and I suppose now on the DVD version they could always throw it off on the side or something like that.
I wonder if they did.
Have to see. Maybe we'll find out. Okay.
Where else you going?
Well, you figure it out. We got let's have time because we don't want to rush anybody, but let's do one more.
Okay.
One more. So it's your call. If you want to stump me or just Well, that won't be hard.
No, I don't think this is going to stump you at all. But you might not have heard it for dog years.
Okay, that's always good.
Yeah, since it's not necessarily at the top of the oldies playlists.
You're gonna getting hooked on this machine now, aren't you? You're gonna probably want to say,
"I figured it out."
Yeah. Now that you figured it out, you're gonna say, "I can't live without this machine."
No, Matt, you must make sure that I have this unit over here.
You be a good boy, and you never know what might wind up under the tree.
You know what I need under the tree is a boombox, a cassette,
an old style boombox,
cassette tape boombox. Yeah. They're getting to be hard to find except online. You can find them online. But all of the songs that I have written over the years and all that kind of stuff, going back decades, they're all on cassettes.
Oh.
I had some that were on 8 tracks.
Oh, boy.
That I had to get transferred.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
8 tracks.
Yeah. But I used 8-track blanks in the early 70s, but ever since then, everything that I've done's on cassette, and now I got nothing.
How short-lived was the 8-track period? Was that 2 years, 3? It seemed like it was an awfully short window. Maybe it was longer than that.
Yeah, it was a little longer than that, but it started out with a 4-track, and that didn't last very long.
Okay.
And then they went to 8-track, and that was and actually they were still doing 8 tracks. Like Columbia Record Club into the 80s.
It kept going, even though it was probably not in favor.
Yeah. So let's see here if you can identify where this came from and who it is. I'm sort of creating all of these weepy segments here. I got some trivia for you on this one, too.
A time to be reaping, a time
oh, yeah, this is
to be sowing.
Alamo?
Yes. John Wayne's Alamo.
John Wayne's Alamo. And not Brothers 4, is it?
It is.
Brothers 4, okay.
Bingo. All right.
Hey, you got one.
Hey.
That's one for the team.
Are you keeping track of these, Matt?
Yeah, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Ding.
You will not be back next week.
And the genesis of this song should have been obvious even as a kid, because I was sort of a geek for this stuff. But because the guy who did the soundtrack to this and many other movies is a guy named Dmitri Tiomkin.
Great name.
Yeah, and I knew his name from the various movies and stuff, and so I knew this. But my wife is Russian, and at some point, I'm playing this record, and she says, "Oh yeah," and she gives me the whole rundown. Dmitri Tiomkin is a Russian immigrant.
Right.
This is literally lifted off of a Russian folk song. Melody, the whole 9 yards, and part of the storyline in the lyrics as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he got songwriting credit and production and everything else.
And America's going, oh, what a great song.
Yeah, what a great song. Yeah, boy. You know, these folk
Everyone in
singers.
Russia's going, hey, isn't that our theme?
Yeah. So it's one of the iconic records of the early '60s, but you know, it's a direct lift from a Russian folk song.
And then on the part of the Brothers Four, you had the harmony there, like Beach Boys type harmony.
They had a they had a big spot in the whole folk scene of that time, you know, and they were unique, even though, you know, how unique can you be if you're playing acoustic guitar, stand-up bass, and 3 or 4 guys singing, you know, how unique can you be, really? But, you know, if you listen to the Kingston Trio, the Brothers Four, Limelighters, and some of the other folk groups of the day, you know, they all had something of their own, whether it was humor or something.
Well, we've enjoyed this. This is our make two. This is like rummaging around in the basement with Craig Moore and an old CD machine and all the many things you have.
Are you accusing me of being moldy?
No, just vintage. The word vintage comes to mind. Yeah, I like that. We want to do this again. I think we'll do a holiday type thing, and I'll leave it to you to figure out, you know, a more specific theme, because you might have an angle on that I'm not thinking of. So we'll work on that. But once again, let's repeat: Younger Than Yesterday is the record store. Vinyl. Is there a season for vinyl? Do you see a bump at Christmas time?
Well, I think all the businesses around town, you know, November, December, January, you know.
Yeah.
That's when all the big box stores pay their bills for the year, and I think
they used to anyway.
Yeah, they used
to. The internet arrived.
I think most of the
the
mom and pop shops probably rely on that too. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll take it however it comes.
Do you have? And one more thing before we go here. Do you have any more trouble than getting albums than you used to? Because obviously you probably go to multiple sources. People come to you with albums. Yeah. You go to distributors or whatever you do.
Well, there's no trouble getting new vinyl.
No new vinyl.
Yeah.
How about old vinyl?
Other than, you know, struggling to pay the freight, you know, pay the bill.
But do you go around to garage sales still? You probably used to. Did you?
40 years ago.
Oh, long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I buy collections. You know, if people have collections or whatever
that are in good shape
that they want to get rid of, I'll look at anything. Mm-hmm. I'll look at anything, and I'll look at any kind of music. We cleaned out a house a couple of years ago, 12,000 records in it.
Whoa.
Yeah, maybe even more. We stopped counting after a while.
Of all kinds? I mean,
well, there was very little, almost no rock in it at all. Mm-hmm. But there was some really cool jazz, and I like all this stuff, you know, from the 40s and the 50s. Mm-hmm. You know, the pop singers, jazz records, you know, and all of that stuff was stone mint. It was just
wow.
It was
what a find.
Unbelievable, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you know, and I like that kind of stuff. You know, you don't necessarily have room to put a load like that out where you can get to it, but at the moment it's in my storage unit.
Well, the beauty of this show or this opportunity is people maybe get to hear something they haven't heard in a while or ever, and we want to keep that going. So we'll do that when we come back with you.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm sure we've got some interesting Christmas stuff.
And now you know how to work the machine.
I do.
You're at home here. See?
Yeah.
This is high tech, the high tech world of the Journal Star.
Yeah, just leave it sit there.
Want to thank Matt Dayoff, who's been at the controls, making this madness possible. And hey, we'll see you next time.
He's the producer.
Yes, he is the producer. See you next time on Tarter Sauce.